Good evening. The Badwolf is here. Now, this one is going to be not a terribly long video. First of all, thanks for the donations. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for just some people just wanted to say, hey, we appreciate you for putting this out there. And to answer one, well, okay, so this question is going to be, this video is going to be about why do we need to add a glossary or a definition page or whatever else. Okay, so that's the title. But to answer that last person's question, I enjoy doing this, and most of this information is already out there, so it's not like I have proprietary rights to any of that, just the stuff I create. Yeah, it's like I said, in the old days, this was all kind of quiet, hush hush stuff. Now it's more readily available, and for a person like myself, who used to be kind of, I probably still am monitored by them, but whatever, it's nothing new. There's so many other people out there doing this that they can't stop the movement, okay, and so we're getting back to what we rightfully have. But remember, for every person that wakes up from out of the matrix, that's money out of their pocket. That's a little bit less of a tighter grip they have on all people who are U.S. citizens. So we're going to continue to fight this good fight. I'm going to put up all this information, and don't try to convince people that this is real. You know, give them a taste of it. Give them a question that makes them ask themselves a question, ponder, why does my mail come in all cap name? You know, or my all caps name, why does my mail come that way? What is that? That's nothing, I'm sure. You know, give them things to ponder. You know, who owns Washington, D.C.? You know, who owns the Unidroit? You know, what is the UCC? What are these things, you know? Is the United States a corporation? You know, Google that information. It's under, like, you know, 28 USC whatever, you know. Give them these things, put it in front of them, and just walk away. Trying to convince somebody that this is real or whatever else is not your job. It's not even my job. I'm telling you about it so you can check it out. So for those people who go, oh, well, that's not true, or that's, you know, semantics, or da 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 da. Great. Prove me wrong. That's all I'm saying. Just take that code, take that information, and Google it. Use the Black Laws Dictionary, and you use the UCC book. When you use those sources, you know, go to the law library online. You know, when you find these things, go to Supreme Court online, pull them. And when you can't argue with what's in there, it is what it is. But remember, all this starts with jurisdiction. So anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the video. So why on some of my paperwork, most of my paperwork, or why should you add a glossary or a definition page or a dictionary of what words you've used? Now, the reason why that's key and the reason why I highly suggest you do that is because when you submit your affidavits to them, they can play stupid, okay? They won't let you play stupid because they'll say ignorance of the law. Ignorance of the law. You should have done your research. You should do your knowledge. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what you're talking about. That's your word? Okay. Well, how do you spell it the correct way? And what do you mean? What is your definition of that word? So what we're going to do is we're flipping the script on those people, and then we're taking the power away. Okay, so we're going to tell them ignorance of the law is no excuse for you. Mr. Judge, Mr. Magistrate, Mr. Officer, Mr. Department of, Mr. Head of State, Mr. this, that, or the other, Miss So-and-so, clerk, whoever else. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And we're taking away their ability to weasel out. Now, don't get me wrong, some of those people I just mentioned are very nice people. I'm only talking about the dicks, okay? And even as a female, this is probably wrong to say, you guys can be dicks too, all right? That being said, we are flipping it to the point where by providing a dictionary section or a glossary, definition section, whatever you want to call it, now they can't say they didn't know what kind of what variation of that word you're talking about. That's why UCC and all dictionaries have this is the first meaning, this is the second meaning, this is the third meaning. Well, things like the word drive, things like the word, instrument or whatever else, all have multiple meanings. Okay? If you don't put a section like that down below with your version of, or which one, two, or three version you mean for that word, they can say, well, he said he was driving, but one definition of driving means, operating for commerce, which is exactly what we know it means. But there's other versions of that. Operating a vehicle, blah, 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 under this, okay, for profit or for commercial, etc. Or there's other words, you know what I mean? Or you're using the word U.S. national, and they're like, well, no, they know what it is, but they can play stupid. They're not supposed to. But if it means getting out of trouble or not getting fined or felonies, which they can for certain things that they do, because we know, or at least I know, how to pin those things on you guys, you are taking away their ability for that, because then they see it. They understand exactly what your definition of that term is, and unless they refute it, okay, one for one, tit for tat, each thing you define, each thing you address in there, nothing can go forward until that is done. Some people, you can send it in the form of a writ to your court, to send it to the clerk, send it to the attention of privately to the clerk, privately to the judge or the magistrate. Have them put, they have to refute each thing line by line. Okay? So that's why that section is very, very important, is because even though you're making these affidavits, you don't have to do every single word, but key words that can be used against you. All right? They can say, well, nope, according to the UCC, it's this. Okay? I would even go as far as to say, get a UCC book, okay, like my guy Dan, who still has mine. Get the book, and or Black Law's Dictionary as well, and get your word, and if it's like driver, definition of driver, and it's number 2 that you're specifically meaning in, put it driver, number 2, dot, and then go into that definition. And don't change that definition, use that definition. Don't change it to suit your thing and then try to quote that this is fact, because then you're creating something that's fraud, all right? Don't do that. All right? So that's pretty much about it, guys. Not a terribly long video, but just to kind of help strengthen how you guys create your own affidavits out there, because I've had a lot of people, make their own explanatory statements and whatever else, and sometimes they'll book, a consultation with me and say, hey, I've made my own. This is where I'm at. How do I do this? How do I do that? Fine. Or, I've had a lot of people ask for consultations on just filling out the passport itself. You know what I mean? Even though I've made the video, some people just want to have that confirmation. They want to hear it. They want to flow through it instead of watching all the videos piece by piece. That's fine too. So this is just to help you strengthen your affidavit. Don't be afraid of going over and adding more pages. Don't be like, oh, I only want to use 2 pages or 3 pages. Use what you need. Make your point. They are not afraid of sending you a 50-page whatever to yam your keister up if they're trying to make a point, so you make your point. You have the right. They want you to be afraid and scared, because it helps. The more you're afraid you are in talking to them and putting this information out there, like I said, don't be a dick, but do it the right way. Do it professional. Business. Business is cold. It's calculating and it's accurate. That's what you have to do. And when you do it back to them, they understand it. You're not their friend. As my mom used to always say, them ain't your friend, baby. Them people ain't your friend. Oh, you thought they was your friend? Or you just want to kind of be scared and trying to just get by? So, same thing. All right? Justice is blind. These people ain't your friends. And a lot of them who are even might be your friends, when it comes to business, it's business. That in itself is a different jurisdiction. Know the difference. All right, so that being said, guys, that's about all I can say for that. Add that section. Put it at the bottom. Put it somewhere in there, okay? Some people put it at the bottom. But some people, typically like me, I'll put it right above the notary section. So notary section, put it in a block right above that. And also when you're signing, your name, put on there, U.S. national, all rights reserved, without prejudice, secured party creditor, whatever your tags are, put them in there. All right. Lord of the nation of, Levitica, whatever it is. All right. So that's about it, guys. I appreciate you. Stay wise, stay smart, stay healthy. Check out the offers and discounts and files below. And if for some reason that's not here, check out the information on the YouTube channel about section. The Badwolf is over and out. And if you would be ever so kind, hit that bell, like, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Over and out.